What is going on, guys? I finally have time to sit back down and do some more examination of the Black Lives Matter manifesto from 4 years ago. It's still relevant as Black Lives Matter is still forefront in the news, and every single day I see something new that by itself wouldn't be a big deal, but taking it in conjunction with everything else that's been happening ever since George Floyd's murder, it is still incredibly pertinent. And every single tiny little thing makes me lose more hope in humanity and makes me think that the average person in this country is literally brain dead retarded. Now, I'm not talking about you guys. You guys are cool. You guys listen to me. You guys know what's up, hence why you're a subscriber or you found this video. Talking about the average Joe Schmo who pays little to nothing about politics, and when he does, he catches something on the radio or on TV, was getting ready for work, which those sources just serve to misinform you more than if you pay attention to nothing. So we have the vast majority of society running around having no idea what's happening in their country. No idea about the terms and names and organizations and people that they hear about on the news. When they hear about Black Lives Matter, they're like, oh, they just want racial justice. They just want black people to stop being killed by the racist police officers. They just want equality. They're furthering the mission of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. They're not racist. More and more people I see on Facebook, though, have been discovering that this is a communist Marxist takeover disguised as benevolent. Oh, we just want racial equality. We just want justice. More and more people are realizing that it's still a very small portion of society. However, unfortunately, well, not a very small. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen a poll. Do you have a source on that? Do you have a source? All I know is that since the beginning of George Floyd versus, I don't know, let's say the last 3 weeks, I've seen way more people just calling them out as like, you are communist Marxist revolutionaries. You do not care about the US. You want to destroy the US. You hate white people. You want to destroy anything that a white person has built, whatever, whatever. And I'm like, thank you. More and more people are seeing this. But let's not get on a tangent here. We're here to talk about the manifesto. We're not here to talk about whatever I want to talk about. Well, actually, I do want to talk about this. So we move on from community control at the end of the last video to political power. We demand independent black political power and black self-determination in all areas of society. We envision a remaking of the current US political system in order to create a real democracy where black people and all marginalized people can effectively exercise full political power. That sounds really fishy, doesn't it? That sounds really revolutionary, but not in a good way. That sounds kind of like what I've been saying this entire time, that they want a two-tier caste system where black people on the top of this new political system they want to create. They want to wield blackness as a power over people. They say right there, independent black political power. What does that mean? Political power based on the black identity, racialized politics. And what is this black political power going to do? Advocate for black people. Not advocate like in a good way, like advocate for, oh, I don't know, let's say the courts were like the Israeli courts, where Arabs had one judicial system and system of punishment and legal ways in the core, and Jews had other. Let's say we had something like that here. Then yeah, that would be a good thing to advocate against. But they're not going to do that, are they? You know they're not. They are going to advocate for just giving black people a whole bunch of shit, which we have talked about ad nauseum the first two videos. Giving them political protection, giving them money, taking the cops away so they can do whatever they want, just giving them unrelinquished power. Political power, economic power, social power, all of it. For black people, only for black people. But let's go into what this list is. An end to the criminalization of black political activity. What the fuck does that even mean? Are you saying that black people can't be in politics? That it's a crime for black people to be in political activities? Like, what do you mean that black people and marginalized people cannot effectively exercise full political control? How many fucking black and other minority political people do you need to see in all levels of government, local, state, federal? How much do you need to see before you're like, you know what, if it's a white supremacist capitalist patriarchy, it's like literally the worst one ever, considering we have like whole cities where like the police force is mostly black, the judges are mostly black, the police chiefs are mostly black, the business leaders are mostly black, the local politicians are mostly black, the state level politicians are a good chunk black. We have black governors in lots of cities. And yet still, through all that, somehow they are just still racist. And they still somehow just can't stop white supremacy in their cities, and then black people getting killed by white supremacist cops. Still, just damn, I just don't know how they can't do it. How, darn, we just missed it. We just need more. 99% isn't enough in some cases. We need 100%. What about in, like, I don't know, Nigeria, where like literally 100% people in the police force are black, and yet still there's police brutality, real police brutality, I might add, in Nigeria, for example. Has white supremacy somehow sunk its way into Nigeria and it just infected all of these black cops and black judges and black politicians there, and yet somehow we just still see innocent black people die by police? Darn! If only there was some other connecting factor between these things. Not white supremacy, but something else, but I can't say it or I'm going to get banned. We can't talk about correlation and commonality and comparatives in certain ways without Susan WikiWiki's throwing the hammer down. But again, you guys know what I'm fucking talking about. Does that make me a racist? Does that make me a racist? No, I just don't know how white supremacy infects whole systems of government where it's minority majority, or black majority for that matter, and somehow it just still fucking happens. But back to this, what are you saying that you want the criminalization of black political power to not be criminalized anymore? Released to all political prisoners. Last I checked, we don't have political prisoners. This isn't Iran or Russia. What are you talking about, political prisoners? What do you mean the repression of political parties? If there's any repression to political parties, is how they constantly change the rules in polling about not allowing to not allow third party candidates to be on the debate stage. Whenever they set a bar, like you must reach this amount in this poll, and then someone like Gary Johnson or Jorgensen does it, they're like, well, actually, it doesn't count. What we really mean is this. And then they go and do that too. Like, oh, we really mean this. And they keep shifting the goalposts again and again and again and again until finally they can't do it. And it's like, oh, wow, we only have two people on the debate stage. Wow, what a surprise. Didn't see that one coming. So if there's any repression of political parties, the Green Party and the Libertarian Party has a case to this. I don't know any black political parties that are being repressed here. Maybe you can enlighten me in the comment section. Public financing of elections and the end of money controlling politics. Well, unfortunately, you would have to undo human nature because money has controlled politics ever since the beginning of fucking time. The first civilization in Sumer, guess who was in power? The guy with the most amount of soldiers, the big guys with the sticks. And guess how he controlled them? By giving them money or food or weapons or whatever. It's money. Money has always controlled politics. Do you want to undo like human nature and us live like fucking Native Americans and just live in huts and have like a chieftain and have no money, like no currency, and just like live in a fucking hut made out of buffalo skin or something? Like what do you fucking want? Like, how? It's a fantasy world, a world where money doesn't control politics. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Election protection, electoral expansion, and the right to vote for all people. Sorry, my computer glitched out there. Through universal voter registration, automatic voter registration, pre-registration for 16-year-olds, same-day voter registration, voting day holidays, enfranchisement of formerly and presently incarcerated people, local and state resident voting for undocumented people. Holy shit, that is just a petri dish of fucking bad ideas. Now, come to think of it, the one I actually do agree with is that if you were previously incarcerated and you served your sentence, you should be able to vote. All your rights should be restored to you. You shouldn't be like permanently banned from voting. So that one actually I agree with. But every single other fucking one is just a way to expand their voter base. That's why they're doing this. They don't actually care about any of these issues. They know that if they enact these policies, whatever party, the Democrat or whatever other stupid political party they want to create, will get more votes. The fact that every single person is automatically registered and you don't have to do anything, same day vote, you can register to vote the same day you vote, hence having no time to check if it's actually valid or not, having no way to check if it's false or not. So all of these fake registrations come in. There's no way to check it because it's the day of the election. 16-year-olds, I'm sorry, I was a 16-year-old, and there are some 16-year-olds who are very smart, but I was 16 years old. 16-year-olds should not fucking vote. You have no idea how the world works at 16. Some 16-year-olds know more of how the world works than others. Some of them are very mature and unfortunately have experienced the shitty world that we live in much earlier than expected. But for the vast majority of them, they have no idea how the world works. Hence, why the fuck should they get a vote in how the world works? Voting day holidays, I think, now that actually might be something I agree with too, because I think that means you have the day off to vote, which actually you should. There's some people, I remember I was working like 12 plus hours a day, and I'm like, how the fuck? I already wake up at 4 o'clock in the fucking morning just to get to work by 7 o'clock. That was cool, by the way. How the fuck am I supposed to wake up even earlier to get to the polls when the lines are so fucking long? Like, it's fucking impossible. Like, we'll just mail in. Which actually, I think I did do that one time. I did do that one time because of that reason. But it's just a whole fucking hassle. If you're working 12 hours a day, 12 plus hours a day, like every single fucking day, you have time. It's just so much easier. Just give me the fucking day off and I'll just go. I can wait in line all day long. It won't matter because I won't have to work. Undocumented people, so illegal immigration, illegal immigrants to vote in local and state elections. Are you fucking kidding me? You want them to have driver's license. You want them to benefit from social services. You want them to be able to vote, and yet they don't pay a dime into the system. Fuck no. Full access to technology. You want to just give people technology? Well, what level of technology? Because everything we use is technology. A table is a product of technology because a machine or a person by hand made it with tools. That is technology. It's like, side note, that's why I hate like when older generations like, back in my day, we didn't depend on technology as much as the younger kids. I'm like, you drove cars, you listened to radios, you fired guns, you had electricity, you had refrigerators, you had like all that crap. That's all technology too. Just because it's something you don't understand or something came after you were born doesn't mean it's not technology. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? And you want universal access to the internet. Okay, so are you willing to give everyone in America like a laptop or something, and then have like high-speed internet throughout the entire country? Because good luck trying to fund that. How the fuck you get that much fucking money? There's still a vast majority of the country has no access to high-speed internet. They only have satellite internet because it takes so long to be financially viable for companies to go way out there in the rural areas. So how the fuck are you gonna afford all this? The percentage of people who don't have the internet is increasingly lower every year, but it's not the majority. It's not like it was back in the 90s where having the internet was like, whoa, that was like a privilege, that was like amazing. Now, almost everyone, not almost everyone, I don't know the exact stat, but odds are most people you know have a smartphone. Most people, even if they don't have a smartphone, they have some type of cellular device that can access the internet. You don't even need internet, you just need a cell signal. So, like, how much more do you fucking need for to apparently not oppress black people and not giving them internet? Okay, when is internet a right? You and I want to write my income without being taxed a lot. That would be helpful. Yeah, Sargon brings up a good point. Internet is provided by private companies. I know you communists don't understand the difference between private and public because you want everything to be public and just abolish private property. But the government doesn't give technology or give internet. Private companies do. Verizon, Xfinity, HughesNet, DirecTV, whatever. How are you going to make the government do this? Are you going to make the government make the companies do that? That sounds pretty fascist to me. Government making companies provide a service to someone under threat of gunpoint or a fine or something. Or do you want the government to start setting up cables and satellites and stuff to give internet? So now the government, in addition to fucking up like everything they touch, like the DMV, you want your internet run by people who work the DMV? Are you fucking kidding me? Good luck with good service from that. Oh, that would be a fucking nightmare. You think Comcast was bad? I know Comcast is universally known for being horrendous in the 90s and early 2000s. I know I had them for a while. God, they suck so fucking bad. Xfinity was much better. Once they rebranded themselves and took out all that stupid fucking management that screwed shit up, they got better. But you want governments to run the internet. Okay. And now we go on to the fifth one, which I missed in the previous screenshot. Protection and increased funding for Black institutions, including Black media, cultural, political, and social formation. So just as again in the previous videos, just give us money. Whatever what we say is a black institution, a media formation, a cultural formation, or a political formation, which could mean anything. It's a very broad definition. If it's black and it's one of those things, give us money. Take taxes from hardworking Americans, which includes a lot of white people, and just give it to black people. Gimme, 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 get. Don't send the police after me. Give me money, give me welfare, give me an apartment. Let me sell my drugs, let me buy my weapons, let me sell my human traffics, and just do whatever the fuck I want, and don't come after me. And oh, and if anything bad happens, your fault still. So if that wasn't retarded enough by itself, we're going to economic justice. A progressive restructuring of tax code at local, state, and federal levels to ensure a radical and sustainable redistribution of wealth. So as if we're not taxed enough in this country, they want to tax us more. People are already getting the upper tax code only pays depending on what the state and local are, like 70% of their wealth. They work more than half the year for nothing to give it to fucking lazy assholes like the people who made this fucking manifesto. I'm nowhere even close to the top tax bracket, and I pay everything combined like 25% of my entire fucking income in taxes to give it to some other person who never gets off their fat fucking ass to make the same amount of money as me. We have people living on welfare their entire lives who make just as much money as like the person with the average salary in a random county in bumblefuck nowhere. Like if you pick a random county that's not like super rich, like LA or New York, you just pick some random county, some random state. Odds are it's going to make more or less than what unemployment is or social service or anything like that. It's like, so you pay people to just do nothing, and you expect other people to work their asses off to make the same amount, just to give it to them. Like, are you fucking kidding me? But that's not good enough. No, 25% isn't good enough for me. 70% isn't good enough for super rich man. It needs to be more to give it to federal and state job programs. Give me a job where I don't have to do anything and just give me money. A right to restored land, clean air, clean water, and housing, and to the exploitative privatization of natural resources. So you just want us to be like Native Americans and no one owns the land. We all have the land. We're just going to be all happy and we're going to hunt and we live in huts and our life expectancy is going to be in the 30s. And we're not going to exploit the land, but we're gonna no standard. Our standard of living is going to be Stone Age because we have no technology because we want to damage the land. Like what? This is so far fetched. This is so radically fucking insane. While I'm all for saving the environment and improving lots of things that we do, which is outside the scope of this video, to think that we can have any sort of resemblance to how we live now with electricity and clean houses and all of these internet devices and all of these games and all of these products that are cheap for the random person to buy. And Amazon, who can ship anything in the country within 2 days, we can just buy everything we want. To think we can still be anywhere close to that and not damage the environment at all is folly. That's the nicest way I can say it. The right for workers to organize in public and private sector, especially in on-demand economy jobs. Well, workers can organize. I can organize with my coworkers and go to the boss and say, we don't like this, can we do something else? He has the right to react however he wants, but there's nothing saying I can't go talk to my coworkers about something. If I want to join a union, I can join a union. If your job says you can't join a union for a reason, just get together and don't call yourself a union. When are you not allowed to organize? When are you not allowed to organize with your coworkers for a change or something? They want to break up the large banks and then just create black banks. So just break up all of these huge banks and just give all the money to black people. Redo all trade agreements to prioritize the interests of workers in the community. Support the development of cooperative and social economic networks in black communities. All aid in the form of grants, loans, or contracts must go to black or black-supported networks and organizations as defined by communities. So just give how many of these bullet points, not just in this economic justice part, but throughout this video, throughout the 3 videos I'm doing, it probably going to end up being a 4th one to finish it out. How many of these bullet points or demands have been in some way or form, give us money? Give us money that someone else earned through their hard work and just give it to us for free because we're black. Like half of the fucking bullet points are that. Oh, look at this next one. What a surprise. Financial support of black institutions. Interest-free, low interest, federally guaranteed low interest loans. Land trust, health infrastructures. Just give us all of this shit. As if we're already at 20-something trillion. I can't even forget what number it is because it goes up by a trillion every couple of months, especially all this coronavirus crap. a stimulus package that tacks on to like 2 trillion, 3 trillion every couple of months, but that's beside the point. Don't get me tangent. Don't get me monologue on a tangent here. Give us money, 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 money. So they divvied up their gimme, gimme, gimme section into the economic justice and then the invest, divest, which guess what? Now you guys can't imagine what these bullet points are going to be, but give us more money. Invest in the education, health, and safety of Black people. Don't let them earn that themselves through hard work and sacrifice. No, just give us a bunch of shit. Reallocate funds to education, employment programs. They want to decriminalize drug-related offenses and prostitution, which actually, that again, every once in a while, they do say something that's actually correct. So I will point that out. Short answer, all drugs should be legal. The war on drugs is a complete waste of time, a complete waste of money. So many, thousands of people have died for no reason, cops and innocent civilians, because there is no crime. There is no victim. No victim, no crime. If people want to buy and sell drugs and they're both consenting adults, then they should be able to do it. Prostitution should be legal. I will never have a prostitute in my life. But if someone feels the want to do that and a prostitute agrees to that, there's no victim. They both want to do it. They consenting adults, and in a libertarian ideology, consenting adults should be able to do whatever they want if there's no victim. And that's unfortunately where they stop being correct. And they never have two bullet points in a row that are correct. That would be asking way too much of them. Universal health care guarantees proximity to health centers. So they want everyone to just get free health care, never pay for a dime. The rich people, their taxes are going to pay for that. And build so many health centers that it's close to every black person in the US. You have to build that many health centers so that no black person will ever live not near a health center. Look at all these demands that just cost trillions and trillions of dollars. That's universal. They don't have to pay for a dime. The government will just go more into debt, and they'll just tax people more for it. A constitutional right for a fully funded education. You know what a free education is? K 1 through 12. You know what that means? Jack shit. Kids are not taught anything nowadays. It is so dumbed down because free means nothing. You did not work for it, you did not pay for it, you did not put in time, effort, energy, stress into it. You were just given it. It's of no value, hence free. Now we should definitely get government out of college, because ever since government got involved in college, the cost of college has skyrocketed. I do agree with that. Again, that's a topic for another time. That's outside the scope of this video. And we should get rid of like half of the diplomas that don't mean anything, like underwater basket weaving and trans, black, queer identity. Like, that stuff useless. It should never be taught ever. Unless there's a private college who wants to offer those courses and people consent to having that diploma. They just got to realize that it's going to be worthless. It should be available. People should be able to pay for and receive whatever they want. Free daycare, high quality food, freedom for unwanted search, seizure, or arrest. So just give us all of the money in the world and let us do whatever we want.